Hello, Carmen Rodriguez Peralta, Director for World of Music Concert Series. I'd like to welcome all of you to this very exciting concert. Ezekiel's Wheel Klezmer Band. They're very, very fun, and I can just tell all of you are going to have a wonderful time. Before you have a wonderful time, please do turn off your cell phones. And also want to let you know we're having a reception after the concert, and they'll be selling some CDs as well. So I hope that you will be interested in buying some. So please join me in welcoming the Klezmer Band.
Thank you all for being here. This lovely hall. Happy to play for you. One, two,
so much, everyone. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. We are Ezekiel's Wheels Klezmer Band, and we are performing some klezmer music for you today. We always like to know who's in the audience. We just see a show of hands. Who has heard of klezmer music before? All right, all right, all right. Who has been to a live klezmer performance before? Brilliant. Who has been to a live klezmer performance by this band before? Well, it's so nice to meet you all. We're very happy to be with you today. We're going to be doing a combination of different things for you today. We're going to be performing some traditional repertoire of klezmer music. We are going to be doing some Yiddish songs for you. We're going to be doing some original compositions. And we're going to be doing a little bit of dancing too, I think. Sorry for the camera operators. We'll do our best to keep it in shot. The first piece that we performed for you was a good old Yiddish drinking song. And the lyrics of it roughly translate to, I went off to the fair to buy a horse and instead I found a bar. Let's have a wonderful night. And, right? It's a good song. It's a good song. So we're going to do something different for you now. This is an original instrumental composition. Klezmer music at its heart is instrumental wedding music. It's dance music. We have listening repertoires too, and we'll do some of that. But most of the klezmer music that we know and love is dance music for weddings. And this is an original in that style. It's called December Suite.
Once again, that was a composition by our clarinet player, Nat Seelen. Wow. And so as Nat said, we like to do a mix of old tunes, original tunes, newer tunes, and we're going to go back to an older Yiddish song for this next one. This one's called Fisherlid, or Fisherman's Song. For those who aren't familiar with Yiddish, it seems like a lot of you are, but for those who are not, Yiddish is kind of a combination language. It's mostly Old German, mixed with a little Hebrew, a little bit of Russian, and it is still spoken today. It has had a real resurgence in the last several years, especially with younger communities, which is a very exciting development, and that's how both Abigale and I both got involved in learning Yiddish. So this next song is Fisherlid. It's called Fisherman's Song, and it's all about going off to find a fish as a metaphor for searching for love, and unfortunately coming back with neither, but hoping to find, you know, solace in being alone and maybe hungry.
It's an early ode to vegetarianism.
Perhaps. Treuerig, hat kein Fisch gefangen. Und ich bin neu, ich scheure dich, ach, der
That's Kirsten Lamb on the vocals. We should clap for her. Shane? Yeah. So we're going to do another song featuring Kirsten. And, you know, we should mention that while Kirsten talked about her and Abigale learning Yiddish, when we started this band, we didn't have any vocals. In fact, we just had Kirsten playing bass. And every time we would perform, someone would come up to us and say, "You should really sing, shouldn't you?" And we'd say, "Well, no." We would equivocate like that. And then one day we said, "Well, we probably should sing because we have an amazing vocalist who's just playing bass, but there's one problem. She doesn't speak Yiddish, and all of the music is in Yiddish. So she learned Yiddish to sing in this band." Isn't that amazing? I think that's really amazing. So the piece that we're going to do for you right now is actually a very popular Yiddish song from about 100 years ago. It's called Sheyn Vi Di Levone. It means beautiful as the moon. And it's a love song. And unlike the last song, this is about someone who's actually found the person they love. And my favorite story about this piece, I'll tell it to you because we're here together, is that about a year ago, more or less, I was at my in-laws' house. And they had just had this torrential issue with a sump pump in their basement, water everywhere, mold everywhere. And so they had to clean everything out. And while we were cleaning it out, they found these boxes of old VHS tapes. And some of us here know what that means. And good, we have CDs for you afterwards too. So they found this box of old VHS tapes, and one of them was labeled "Amy is born," and my wife is Amy. And it wasn't the hospital. It was right after my wife was born, her grandparents coming to visit her for the first time. And her Bubby and Zayde came up from Houston, or Texas City, Texas really, where they lived. And there was this beautiful shot of her grandfather holding her in his arms and singing this song to her. And so we're going to sing it for you right now.
Sheyn wie die Levone, lichtig wie de Stern von Himmel am Matune, bist du mir zugeschickt. Mein Glück hab ich gewinnen, wenn ich auf dich gefunden. Du scheinst wie 1000 Sehnen, hast du mein Herz verlegt. Weiße Perle mit deinen schönen Augen, deine Kinderlach, deine Herrlach, hast mich zu gezeugen. Sheyn wie die Levone, lichtig wie der Stern vom Himmel am Matun, bist du mir zugeschickt. Sheyn wie der Frühmorgen, Kische wie der Abend, der Sonnenglanz verborgen, wenn du bist nicht bei mir. Dein Kind hat mich gefreut, das Leben sein Anschien. Dein Gezehn der Lachlein, Severlach, mit deiner Schäne, deine Kinder Lachlein, Herrlach, aus der mächtige Zeit, Sheyn Vi Di Levone, wie der Stern von dem Himmel abmacht, bist du mir zugeschickt.
Thank you. Again, Kirsten Lamb on vocals. So these are interesting times that we're in right now, and we were backstage trying to decide if we should say anything about the state of the world, and the only thing that we could come up with is that we're heartbroken, and we're musicians, so we're just going to keep playing this music that we love to play, and with that, I'm going to play a Doina, which is an improvisational form of klezmer music where the musician gets to express themselves in whatever way they want to express themselves. But it's in a very strict form, originally coming from the tune that Romanian shepherds would play to draw their sheep to them. And the Jewish musicians heard it and were like, that's pretty cool, I want to start doing that too. So we're going to do the Doina, and then we're going to go into a couple of dance pieces.
Abigale Reisman on the violin.
Yeah. Who here has danced Yiddish dancing before?
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to teach you or demonstrate a little bit and maybe have you participate in a little bit of it as well. Don't worry, you can do it from your seat. So the first dance that I'm going to teach is a Khosidl, which is a slower type of improvisational, tends to be more of a solo dance or a partner dance. A lot of the Yiddish dancing is in larger groups where you're holding hands and snaking about the room or in circles, but the Khosidl is a little different. You can be moving wherever you want to move and very, very gestural, really coming from the Yiddish language. They say that the Yiddish language is just as gestural as the Italian language. So if you can imagine that, it really comes out in the dancing. So I'm going to show you a couple of these gestures and movements that we can do. And I guess we'll do the Khosidl that we just played in that last set, although we played it more at a Freilich tempo, which is a little faster, so maybe we'll slow it down for now. And then maybe I'll show you one more. So, yes, Freilich is joyous. The sound in this room is amazing. Yeah, so Khosidl comes from Hasidic. It was kind of like imitating sort of the very religious Jew. There's some disagreements on exactly if it was honoring or maybe making a little bit of fun of it, but it's a great dance. Anyway, so yeah, so just if you want in your seats, you can do what I do with my hands, or you can improvise. So I invite you to just, let's raise our arms up, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dances have this multiple direction about it. So we have this reaching up to the heavens, but there's also this real groundedness and this sort of like your feet are just rooted in the ground, but they're also bouncing at the same time. So there's this opposite direction sort of feeling to a lot of the dancing. And now I think I will demonstrate maybe a Jacques.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So this is one of my favorite dances. We did it before Nat's piece, the second piece that we played. He wrote a Jacques or a slow hora. It could be both of those terms. And it's just really fun to dance. You do it in a big circle, and it is this sort of uneven feel in 3. So there's this pull that happens. So I'll sort of show you what that looks like real quickly. So, do you want to do a vamp? So you hear that long, short, long, short, long. It's kind of this uneven feel. Ready? Go. Really good when you're doing it with a lot of people. So that Nat is the director, president, executive of
These are great words. I love that.
the Boston Festival of New Jewish Music, and he often has Yiddish dancing at the Boston Synagogue. So if you want to feel all these things and witness them, come talk to us and you can get involved in that, because we're hoping to lead more dancing here in the Boston area. It feels really great to connect with people in that way. So, should I do a Bulgar?
Yeah.
Do a Bulgar. Do
Okay,
it.
I'll do one more demonstration. And I should say, would anybody like to try it with me? Oh,
Yeah.
great, awesome. Yay!
She
We're gonna
just
do-
needs 23 more volunteers.
Dancing shoes on.
Oh, it's
so,
fine. I'm
you
ready
know.
on this side, yeah. Because we always go, Jewish dancing, and a lot of dancing really goes to the right often. So the leader usually is on the most right. But I'll demonstrate it first. So this is the easiest one. And maybe you will come up when you see how easy it is. So it's just a step, 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 lift, and lift. That's the whole thing. Step, 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 lift, and lift. And this one is kind of an improvisational dance because there are some, sorry, I shouldn't have called you up right away, but you can be here and try it with me. Okay. But there are some variations that can get really fun. I mean, you can just do step, 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 lift, and stomp. Step, 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 lift, and tap. Step, step. And then there's the more complicated ones, which are step, step, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, step, step, 1, 2, 3, or the most complicated, step, step, out, in, and step, step, out, in, out, in. So, but the cool thing is that people can be doing all of those at different times, and it still all works, and you get this push and pull kind of feeling. So maybe we can get one more person to come up. Yay! We're gonna make, so this is a traveling movement, so we're gonna make kind of like this very narrow oval around here.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for joining us. And
We happen to know each other.
oh, perfect. Amazing. Now we all know each other. So we're gonna put our hands up, and it's not, we always have our hands sort of up here. We don't need to, not super high, just
Okay.
just
Like
here.
shoulder-
Yeah,
shoulder
just about
height.
shoulder width,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if our hands are down here, we kind of pull down. So let's try it. Maybe
Do
give
you
us a
wanna vamp
vamp.
this
Yeah. So they're gonna vamp, and we can feel it in the beats. Yeah. Yeah. Ein, zwei, drei. 1, 2, 3, lift. Yeah, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. Yes, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. That's it. 1, 2, 3, lift. Lift. 1, 2, 3, lift. 1, 2, 3, lift.
We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep going. Imagine that we're dancing. feature, a musical feature of the Bulgar is we have this syncopation happening. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but also 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. So those rhythms interlocking together create a really fun backdrop for the dancing of it. So.
Yeah. And thank you so much for dancing, for clapping. That's a great way to participate. And so for the next one, we're gonna go back to Yiddish song, and we're gonna play a song about a tailor who is sewing and sewing and sewing all day, all night, until there's a strike, and then they no longer have to sew for all day and all night. But there's some words in this song that you'll hear over and over and over again. You'll hear Schneider, which is tailor, and Nate, which is to sew. So you'll hear Nate do, Nate do, Nate do, Nate sew and sew and sew and sew. And you'll hear this chorus that kind of comes over and over again. You can kind of imagine it like the sewing machine, the rhythm of the sewing machine. And so the chorus is Ot azoi, Nate a Schneider, Ot azoi, Nate doch. So basically, that's how the tailor sews. That's how he sews, basically. So if you feel inspired to sing along in the Yiddish, you are more than welcome. You'll hear it many times. Don't worry. 1, 2, 3.
explain it. So the next piece that we're going to do is called a Gute Nakht, which is a good night tune. It would have been played in the Shtetl, Eastern Europe, at the end of a very long wedding, maybe a wedding that had lasted for 3 weeks. Very, very long wedding. But we got this, well, actually, this manuscript is actually from the Beregovsky collection, but it comes from this collection that was just made available to the Klezmer community and also just anybody that wants to see it. It's all these manuscripts that were finally made available to the public. It was in a library in Kyiv. A lot of the music we play is coming from Ukraine, so we're proud to be playing that, what is now Ukraine. We're proud to be playing that music with, there's so much going on. These manuscripts were finally able to be viewed and taken photos of, and within one day they were all uploaded online, and in one day they were made available to the whole community, and we had like 1,000 new tunes. And it was really, really awesome. It happened when we were in the height of quarantine and the pandemic, so me and a lot of my friends were just spending all day going through all these new tunes. And this tune we already knew this tune, but it was originally from this collection. So we hope that you enjoy it. It's a lovely good night tune.
Thank you all so much for spending this time with us. We have time for one more piece of music for you, but before we play it, put your hands together for Abigale Reisman on the violin. For Kirsten Lamb, upright bass and vocalist. My name is Nat Seelen, playing clarinet for you today. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Carmen and everyone here for welcoming us. This has been such a wonderful place to play. Thank you so much for inviting us. So we are going to play one more piece. Kirsten will tell you a little bit more about it. When we're done, there's a reception outside. We have CDs available. We don't have any VHS tapes. I'm sorry. Next time we'll bring those. But we do have CDs available, and we'd love for you to take them all. We don't want to take them home anymore. And take some food, and feel free to come say hello. We're very friendly. We'd love to speak with you. What's our last song about, Kirsten?
So this last one is also a Yiddish, very funny Yiddish song, and it's all about a wedding that did not happen. So we've got, everyone's getting ready for this wedding. We've got the bride's family in one sleigh, the groom's family in another sleigh because we're in, winter in Russia. The Klezmer musicians are in a third sleigh, freezing, playing, all going to this wedding. Everyone is singing, everyone is dancing, having a great time, except for the bride, who is silent. Until a nobleman on horseback rides across the wedding party, the bride lights up, starts singing while everyone else is silent, hops off of her sleigh onto the horseback, rides off into the Russian winter sunset, happily ever after, unfortunately leaving our groom without a bride. So so this is called a Khosn On, a groom without a bride. You'll hear the sad music towards the end where you'll know that he is, at the altar alone. But ultimately, we like to think that the bride is happier. Probably everyone's happier in this situation. So this is Khosn On. Thank you so much for being with us today. Oh, 1, 2, 3. mein Pforten. Khosn Leben, ey, Khosn Leben, als Weg zu deinen Jorden. Hey,